I was literally told in a meeting that I was sitting down with other coaches saying, "You're a brown man trying to make it into coaching industry. We don't think you're going to make it." And that completely shattered my dream of being able to create an impact in other people's lives. For months, I wondered if I had chosen the right career, if I had made the right decision by quitting a really safe job and choosing this new career that I knew very little about. 7 years later, I can say one thing for sure: they were wrong. Today on this channel, we have almost 100,000 subscribers. We are pretty much one of the largest coach education channels that is out there. We engage with 250,000 people on our email list where we are constantly educating and uplifting the coaching industry. We are recognized by several organizations as one of the leaders in coach training. Just in the past 8 months, we've generated over $12 million in revenue, and the programs that I've created has received over 1,600 testimonials. I've trained thousands of coaches, and because of my work with my clients, they have made millions in profits or have completely changed their lives. But before that, the first 4 years of my journey was actually a struggle. I started as a coach in 2015, and until 2019, I was struggling. I was struggling because I was not able to turn a decent profit in the business. I was barely able to get clients. I was really struggling to be able to find myself. And honestly, somewhat I believe that that story that the other coaches had told me, that I'm a brown Indian man and I shouldn't be able to be successful in the coaching industry, kind of pulled me back, kind of took away from my confidence, took away from my own belief in myself. And because I didn't believe in myself, I was hesitant in being able to communicate effectively. I was hesitant in going and being able to approach the right kind of authors. I resisted putting myself out there and put my learning and my training, my education, my coaching in front of many people. Until 2019, when everything shifted, when I was rereading this book. It's called Think and Grow Rich. It's by Napoleon Hill. It's a very old book. This is not something that has come out new in the marketplace that you have heard about for the first time. There's a big possibility that either you've read it or you've at least heard about it, or you know the principles in this book. And this wasn't the first time that I read this book. This was probably the third or fourth time that I was reading the book at the time. And there were two principles that I knew of, but they stood out differently for me. They landed differently for me. The first principle that I want to highlight to you is a principle called autosuggestion. You see, the principle of autosuggestion suggests that you could make yourself believe anything, or you could start to believe anything if you can somehow find a way to suggest to yourself that empowered belief again and again and again. And my way of interpreting autosuggestion was that I can instill confidence, I can instill certainty, I can instill my personal power, I can instill anything that I need in my body, in my soul, if I found a way to repeatedly suggest that to myself. You see, recently I wanted to switch my identity from being an introvert to being a person that just leans into the energy of the room and see if he wants to be there or not. The reason was pretty straightforward for such a belief. I found myself resisting going and meeting people or being able to have a good time just because I had formed this weird identity based on some personality test that I am an introvert. And while yes, I may want my own space and I may need some personal time, I love people that I hang out with. I actually have a great time when I'm meeting friends, when we are interacting, when we are having a good time. There's some people that may drain energy out of me, but I know exactly who these people are. So what is it that tells me that I'm an introvert? I'm not an introvert. I'm just protective of my energy. And so if I found a way to constantly remind myself that I'm not an introvert or an extrovert, I cannot be put into a box like that. What I am is somebody who honors his energy and who knows his energy and wants to hang out with people that add to his energy. Well, I will start going to parties and events and gatherings where people are there who are good energy givers for me, people I like to hang out with. So reminder of the idea of autosuggestion shifted everything for me because I simply started auto-suggesting myself and re-emphasizing ideas that were useful to me. You see, we have maybe 80,000 thoughts a day, Most of them are repetitive, and they're repetitive not only for the day, they're repetitive from yesterday and the day before. We repeat our thoughts, and they're usually negative. They're usually things that we want to remember so we can protect ourselves. We don't want negative thoughts because our negative thoughts don't really empower us. Negative thoughts are useful, for sure, and we must have them, but they're not empowering. So here was my first strategy. I identified what is it that I must believe about myself for me to live the best version of myself, the version that I like, the version that I know is within me is subdued by things around me and people around me and negative energies around me. What is it that is the truth about me that I know, that I want to remind myself every day? I reminded myself every day of what I really want to believe about myself in my meditations. I would say it out aloud. I would say it in meetings. I would say it to myself again and again and again so I can remember what is the honest truth about me. And the more I reminded myself, the more certain I became about that truth, the easier it became for me to be me. And when I was able to be who I truly am, my businesses exploded because I didn't have to put up a facade. I didn't have to put an energy towards creating a narrative around me because I was just being honest. I was just being me. You see, it may feel really difficult to accept ourselves, but once we do, it becomes much easier to live with ourselves, to be able to present ourselves, to be able to find that comfort within ourselves, to be able to show up in the world as exactly who we are. We don't have to put any energy into facade. We don't have to put any energy in having somebody else like us or not like us. All our energy is directed towards us being us. And that brings me to the second principle that I got reminded of, and I had a slightly different understanding of this principle. The principle is called power of the mastermind. How many times you've been offered to join a mastermind just because of the principle that has been taught in Think and Grow Rich? Heck, this is the whole word right now in the industry where people want you to join masterminds. And the mastermind principle is a powerful principle if you understand it the way I think Napoleon Hill meant, or at least my understanding of what he meant. What he meant was find people that you can truly align with, that you're excited to share information with, and that you're excited to hear from, and create that social structure around you so you can be your best version. So you can have a reliant network of people that catch you when you're about to fall, that are willing to listen to you when you're struggling, that are willing to help you when you're struggling. You see, mastermind right now has become a business term utilized by marketers to tell you how you should join their group. While it might be that some masterminds are useful, my personal experience of masterminds was not very useful because the focus of the mastermind had just become people presenting how great they are instead of what truly means to be in a mastermind, which is to be able to support each other because we know and understand that all of us are great and all of us are awesome and that all of us must be supported in our journeys. My new understanding of mastermind actually got me to quit a lot of the masterminds that I was a part of. I let go of any mastermind where I was joining to be recognized or be heard and be seen. I only joined mastermind where I was supported, where I felt like we were one family, that as much as they cared about my growth, I was interested in their growth. And that changed everything because suddenly I wasn't going to groups where I was pulled down or I felt like I was smaller than, or I felt like I'm just in an ego-centered circle. Now when I went to my masterminds or my people, I felt supported. I felt elated. I felt like my energy was more than less. You see, remember the story of the group of coaches that I was hanging out with who told me I wasn't good enough to be a coach, or I would never make it as a coach because of really odd reasons? Well, that was a mastermind. That kind of mastermind wasn't elevating, wasn't fuel to my fire. So my invitation to you is to ask, what is that reality that you can create? What is that support group that you can create? What is that structure, a social structure that you can create that elevates you, that gives you power? What is it that brings the most personal power to you? What are the people that bring the most personal power to you? Find those group of people and bring them into your mastermind. Make them your support group, and you will find that you will start to thrive so much more. Has there been situations that you have been doubted, that you have been put down by people that are seemingly more successful than you are? Have you doubted yourself? Share how you've been doubting yourself, or somebody else has embedded some doubt within yourself, and how you're overcoming that. What is the work that you're doing? Because I want to see you fulfill all of your desires very, very soon.